Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Brandy and today I'm going to be talking about my piercings. Before I get into the video, I did want to do a couple of disclaimers. One, all of the piercings I'm going to be talking about I've gotten professionally done. So I didn't pierce these by myself. The second thing I want to disclaim is that I'm going to be rating the piercings that I got from a scale of 1 to 10. They're just how much I perceived them to be painful. So if you do decide to get any of these, just know that you've been warned. So without further ado, I'm going to be rating my piercings on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the most painful, 1 being no pain at all. I'm going to be talking about them in the order that I got them. I'm also going to be showing you any pictures or videos of any kind of footage of me either getting them or like the aftermath. First ever piercing that I got professionally done was my septum, actually. I'm gonna be honest, for this one I was actually super nervous for because it was the second time I was getting it done. The first time the lady pierced it too low. It wasn't like what they call the sweet spot. It went through cartilage and it was super painful. The lady that did my septum the second time, she like did everything correctly. Honestly, I'm gonna put this at a 0. Now, hear me out, because I felt the clamp. Like, she used the clamp. The first lady, she didn't use a clamp at all. Like, she literally just freehanded that shit. It was crooked, by the way. The lady that did it the second time, she clamped it like with one of those clampers. I'll put a picture up. And then she just pushed the needle through. And I felt the clamp more than I felt the actual needle. She was literally screwing on like the ball. She already put the jewelry in and I was like, "Are you done?" And she was like, "Yeah, like you can take a look in the mirror now." And I've had it since then. Unfortunately, I don't have any like pictures or videos or anything. The next piercings that I got were actually 2, kind of. I'll get into it. So it was actually both sides of my like normal nostril piercings. I got the left side done first. I'll put a picture up of that. She put the needle through and then the jewelry and everything. Honestly, looking back, I'd probably give it like a 2.5 out of 10. Like, I felt it, but it wasn't anything crazy. I was like, no, I just don't like the way it looks, just the one side. So I went back 2 days later and I got the other side done. The next piercing that I got was my nipples. And I know what you're thinking, like I just went from something very simple to my nipples. Like, girl, I'm crazy, okay? I'll put some pictures up. You probably can't tell in the pictures, but I was super nervous. So I asked him to do my right side first, and if you've ever gotten multiple piercings like in one setting, like you didn't get one and then come back like later to get the other one, you know what I'm about to talk about. All the adrenaline went to the first piercing, and I would say it was like a 5 out of 10. It wasn't unbearable and it wasn't like crazy, but I definitely felt it and it hurt. And then he did the left side. Girl, it was like, God, I want to say like a 7.5 or an 8. Like, it was bad. It was like burning and stinging. I don't even remember like him putting on the jewelry, and I was dizzy after that one, for sure. The next piercing that I got after that was actually my Medusa. So I've actually had this pierced twice. The first time it was crooked. I ended up taking it out and then I waited like a few months. I went to a different shop this time and then I got it re-pierced, and this time it's straight. Anyways, the second time, since it went through scar tissue, I want to say it was like a 4 or a 5 out of 10. Again, like I felt it, but it wasn't anything crazy or like unbearable. The next piercing that I got after my Medusa was my snake bites. First, he did the right side, and then he did the left. The right side, I want to say it was like a 2 or a 3. Like, I felt it, but it wasn't anything bad. Like, I know I keep saying that, but it's true. And then the other side, it also wasn't that bad. I want to say like a 4 or a 5 maximum. Him putting in the jewelry like stung more than like the actual piercing, but like I don't really factor that kind of thing in. The next piercing that I have, I would personally say is my favorite piercing of all time, just because I have yet to come across somebody that has what I have. I only see people on the internet with these. It's called a vertical industrial. It's just like a traditional industrial that goes like up through here, but for me, my industrial goes like through the upper part of my helix and then down into my conch, and then I'll flip my ear up. But you see, how it just like travels that way. The reason why I ended up getting a vertical industrial instead of a traditional was because on this ear I didn't have the anatomy. I looked into alternatives because I really wanted an industrial, but I just couldn't get the one that like most people get and have. And this is like what I saw. I wanted to find somebody that knew what they were doing and had a lot of experience, because this is a very intermediate piercing to get. This piercing, I asked him to do the top first and then the bottom, and he was like, are you sure? Because he was explaining to me that the bottom part of the piercing is like thicker tissue than the top part. And I was really adamant about him doing it helix first and then conch, because I thought that because this was like tougher than the bottom part that it was gonna hurt less. I was wrong. So when he pierced the top part, God, I want to say it was like a 1.5 or a 2. Like it was significantly less painful than I thought it was gonna be. The bottom part was actually really fucking spicy. I want to say like a 6, a 6.5, or a 7, like somewhere in between there. It just depends on like when I recall it, and like of course it hurt more when he put the jewelry in, especially through this bottom part. Like, oh my god, I remember after he put the jewelry in, he was telling me like aftercare, and I was still laying down. I was like because I was like out of it. I was in so much pain. The next piercing that I got is this contra conch. It's also called an outer conch piercing because it's more like on the outside. It was a piercing special by the same guy that did my vertical industrial. He predicted that it was going to be a really popular piercing. I still haven't met anybody with this, so I don't know what homeboy was thinking, but I thought it looked cool and I was down for him to do it. So he went ahead and did that. This wasn't very painful at all. I want to say it was like a 2. Like, if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't even remember like what this felt like. So the next piercings that I got, piercings plural, were my 3 lobes. I don't know if you can see those. I'll throw some pictures up, but these, I mean, they're just lobe piercings. I want to say they were like a 2 maximum. I really like don't even remember again what they felt like. The most recent piercings that I've gotten and ones that I'm currently still healing are my high nostrils. This is one, and then this is the other. Y'all, I'm not joking. These up here made getting my nipples feel like a walk in the park. I wish I was joking. When I got these, she did the left side first actually, and right out the gate, I want to say that's a 5. Like, and I know like I gave the same rating for my nipples, but this was a different kind of pain. Like, you feel me? This burned, like this straight burned and stung like as she was putting the needle through. And she also didn't use like a catcher. I'll put a picture of that up, but she just like freehanded this.
This is why it's straight.
Okay, babe?
Okay, there it is. You're done.
Good job, babe.
Awesome, Brandy. You're awesome.
That was spicy.
Was it spicy? Yes, I appreciate that.
Brandy, you feeling okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's looking cute.
It's just pressure.
Yeah, just the pressure. Okay, see how good.
Then she did the right side, and this hurt so bad.
Take a deep breath. Okay, Ma, you see what I'm doing? And then basically you just feel your finger.
Kind of feel.
Okay. And then if you open up her nose with your finger, remember I told you guys it's all up.
She did it so slow. Just when I thought it couldn't get any more painful, it did. It sucked through and through, like from getting it pierced, from getting the jewelry put in. Another piercer that I went and saw to get the jewelry downsized, she told me that the right side of my tissue in the nose is actually thicker than the left. So it made sense why it hurt more. For the right side, I want to say it was like a 9, like a 9. That shit, it's barely below a 10. So yeah, those are all 20 of my piercings with my pain scale, pictures and videos, and everything. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.